Hey everybody, this is Josh with Hi-Fidelity Records coming back to you today with an awesome shootout. We're going to be doing an OG UK, boom, Radiohead OK Computer versus the 2017 OK Not OK Reissue. Let's find out which one of these sounds the best after this. Alright, so if you're a kid of the 90s, you're a child of the 90s, you grew up in the 90s, Radiohead is a band that is etched into your mind. It's part of your life, and it's definitely part of my life as a young man in the 90s. And OK Computer was a record that at the time really surprised a lot of people. You know, it was definitely a departure from the original sound with Pablo Honey and the Bends, which are obviously fantastic records and classics in themselves, but I really think Radiohead was trying to push themselves and trying to maybe make something that was bigger than what was out there, especially on the radio. And that brought them to OK Computer. Probably the quintessential 90s album, a little proggy, a little rocky, definitely one of the best albums of that decade. And we've decided we're going to go ahead and shoot out what most people think is the best pressing, the original UK pressing versus the more readily available, which I think is the only one that's in print right now, which is the 2017 reissue, the OK Not OK, which I believe this guy is a 3 LP situation. And so we've come to our good friend here, Phil Barton's house. He's got some excellent equipment to maybe hear this a little more in definition. Not that our last system was bad, but this is going to give us a little more of a fuller picture of how these two albums sound. So, but let's take a look at some of the equipment that we shot this out on.
First up, for power, we're rocking with the Audio Research 160M Mark II mono blocks, pumping out a blistering 140 watts per channel. And for our preamps, we have the Audio Research 3 SE Phono and the 6 SE preamp. And speakers, none other than the beautiful Rockport Signas. Super efficient, excellent sound, and just look fantastic in this room. And for our turntable, rocking with the TW Acoustic Raven 3-motor system with the airtight Opus 1 cartridge installed.
All right, now that we've taken a look at the system, I want to say that most of the electronics were provided by Jeff Harris at Reference Analog. So if you're interested in anything that you saw there, please reach out to him. Just Google it up, Reference Analog. I believe his website is just that, referenceanalog.com. So hit up Jeff. Great guy, super knowledgeable, and you're gonna love the way you look, as they used to say on the Men's Warehouse deal. So, without further ado, let's get into the OK Computer. First off, I want to say neither one of these are bad. You know, if you love this record, you're not going to go wrong with either one. You know, if your budget is $50, $60, you know, the OK Not OK. Let's grab it, take a look at it here. The OK Not OK, you're gonna love. It's still gonna sound great. It does represent the record very well, but the winner of the shootout, and you know, it's probably pretty obvious, has to be the original UK. And the reason why is I just think that you can hear more into the recording on the UK. You know, the stuff that, because there's a lot of stuff going on this record. You know, it's not a 3-piece. This isn't Cream, you know, or whoever. This isn't a 3-piece band. There's a lot of stuff going on. So to be able to hear all the little shakers and djembes and all the little transient things going on in the background, you're going to hear that with the UK. And I think maybe the reason that is because on the reissue, the OK Not OK, I think that, you know, we've got a little compression going on, and that's muddying up the soundstage a little bit and kind of preventing you from hearing some of those details that are in the record. You know, like we listened to Subterranean Homesick Alien and Paranoid Android. You know, those have tons of things going on in the background rather than just your rhythm section and your guitar and your vocals. So we'll really be able to hear that on those particular tracks. The UK, pick it up again, just is a better sounding record. And I think you're probably thinking, well, if the other one's compressed and has a little bit more bass, but don't worry, this one has plenty of bass. It sits in relation with the rest of the music and it sounds natural like it's supposed to. I think when we get into some of these newer reissues, they are compressing them a little bit. They're goosing them a little bit to maybe kind of appeal to the taste of today's collectors and listeners, people who are used to listening through their AirPods, or maybe they're used to listening through their phone, and they want to hear something loud and they like that extra bass. But I think in this instance, on the OK Not OK, it really did it did the rest of the music a disservice. And once again, not to say it sounds bad, it's just, if you're out there and you're looking for the best copy, it's the OG UK. And you're going to find this in near mint between, I've seen it all over the place. Let's start at $200, maybe $300-$400 for a near mint copy of this. So it is pricey, but as my good friend Phil Barton said, this is the dark side of the '90s, and if it's your favorite record, you owe it to yourself to track this one down. But not to say, if your budget is in the $50-$60 range, stick with the OK Not OK. You're going to be happy with it. It's super cool. Pretty sure it comes with a few little extras. Track down maybe an original from 2017 that was on the blue vinyl. I think that one sounds actually has a better quality pressing than the black vinyl pressing that they have now. I think the blue one was pressed at Optimal, and I think the recent reissue that's available now that's on black vinyl was maybe pressed at GZ, and GZ's hit or miss, as we all know. So that's it. That's final right there. Got to call it the OG UK is the winner of the Shootout. But there's tons of other pressings. There's a From the Capitol Vault. There's other 180 gram pressings. But I think that these two represent the best of what this record can sound like. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, man, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the like button down below. Give me some love. Hit me up at HiFidelityRecords.com. I'm always buying records. I'm always doing consignment. So if you have a record collection, or someone that has a record collection that wants to deal with someone who's knowledgeable, trustworthy, and can get them top dollar for their records, just reach out. And I'm the guy for the job. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.